comments? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Can I get a motion for the review and approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting dated Thursday, October 12th, 2021?
Yes.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Is this a roll call then?
You do all in favor.
Do what?
You can say all in favor.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh.
Motion.
Motion carries. Oh, thanks, I forget that one, I'm writing that down. Can I get a motion to approve the township warrants for payment for September 9th, 2021 in the amount of $46,776.10?
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call, Tony?
Johanna?
Yes.
Donahue? Sorry. Nice. Rob Parrish?
Yes.
Tim Parrish?
Yes.
Karen Kainis?
Yes. Can I get a motion for the approval for the road district warrants for payment September 9th, 2021 in the amount of $310,285.10?
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion.
I don't know who wants to start, but Mike, there was a significant purchase on there, being the screen deck. Just wanna know what all went into that purchase process, and then what your intentions are for it.
Okay. So we didn't go out to bid, because it's used, it's 2 years old with 450 hours. That doesn't mean that I didn't shop it, because I did. I looked at many different machines, and then when, I knew that was the model, I've known that was the model that I wanted for years. So I looked at 3 of them in the Midwest, and that was by far the best deal, the best condition, the best price, or condition compared to price. That was the best deal. So that's how that machine was selected at that price. Our plan for it is the same as we've been screening our own material long before I got here. We've been using a machine called a remove. It's an attachment for the front of the loader. And since I've been here, we've wore it out 3 times. It costs between 25 and 30 grand to recondition that machine each time we wear it out. It's extremely unproductive as compared to a screen deck. What we do with either of these machines is create our own pulverized topsoil and our own grade 9 size asphalt grindings. We use between 50 and 60 semi-loads of pulverized topsoil a year. That's between $25,000 and $30,000. You've never seen a invoice to the road district for topsoil, at least in the last 8 years. The grindings, we use between 6,000 and 7,000 tons a year, and that's used mostly in our setting of our culverts. Again, that's about 30 grand a year, the asphalt grindings that we're not having to purchase. We don't pay dump fees because we bring all our asphalt grindings back here. And to be fair, sometimes there is no dump fees. As you guys know, it depends on the marketplace. When they get flooded with asphalt grinding, they charge. And when they need it, there is no charge. So that could be up or down. But the labor savings for this machine versus the old one is huge because it's between 8 and 10 times more productive. So our men can be doing other things besides screening material with that remove. That's what went into the decision.
Are you gonna have to put somebody full-time on that thing then?
No, there was I would say, 25% of one man was running the remove. So he'll be even less. We'll just be more productive with the people that we have, but no, we won't be hiring any. Now, for the last month, the guy's been on it, because we're getting ready to need the material, and, I say a month, it's been 3 weeks. And I wanted to see if there were any flaws in the machine, so we ran it real hard the last 3 weeks. But no, generally, there will not be somebody running it full-time.
You took delivery of it then, like 3 weeks ago?
Yes, sir, approximately.
Does it come with a warranty?
Yep.
I have a question, just because I'm new to this, so just asking to throw it out there. So is there, I know you guys have a budget from your side to purchase that is at a certain amount. Do you have to ask approval? I don't know, do you have to ask approval for a certain purchase limit, or is it just, as long as it was within the budget, then, okay, I wasn't sure how that worked, if there was like if it got to a certain amount, then it had to come for approval, or just whatever the budget is, you can go with, as long as it stays within that budget.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Your excavator was at North Richmond Road in Johnsburg, and we paid to have it hauled back. What was it doing there? It's out of the township limits,
Yeah, it was on one of my jobs.
so we paid to haul it back.
Yes, sir.
Why?
So
We
you-
paid to haul it there
Haul
too.
there too, like a month
Month
ago?
before.
No, that was 2 different moves back
One was a
here.
dozer, and then this one.
What was that?
I thought the one last month was a dozer,
No, it was for the excavator,
the same excavator.
yeah.
So we paid none of the money to take it to your job and none of the money to bring it back.
No, you paid twice to move it back here.
I
When
thought the
you
other one
use-
was Spring Grove.
When you use my machine, you pay to move. When I use my machine, I pay to move it. You've paid to move it back here last month and this month. I don't leave it here indefinitely. When I need it, I take it. And then when you need it, you pay to move it.
Who pays for the fuel, the maintenance?
You do. On my jobs, I pay for the fuel.
Yeah, but we still carry all the maintenance.
That's true.
That's not right.
That's, well, okay.
It's not.
I won't let you use it anymore, I'll just go rent one. We use it for free. You know how many hours we put on mine?
That's just.
Let me take my attitude out of it. Rob, we put 1,400 hours on my machine.
I know you use it here, but
We
that was
use
the deal.
it
You were
all
gonna.
the time. And you pay to move it, you don't pay the $175 an hour that the machine would bring. We've never paid a dime for renting the machine.
That's your choice, moving on to that scopes of work.
That's right, and it's my choice to let the township maintain it and put fuel in it when it's here.
But then it leaves with the maintained machine and fuel and goes work on your jobs and experiences wear and fuel and comes back again to be refilled and maintained.
I will give you the wear and the maintenance, but not the fuel. When that job goes out, when that machine goes out of here,
It's empty.
I put all the fuel, no, it
Okay.
leaves full and it comes back full. I think it's a pretty good deal. We use my machines for 8 years for free, all the time. You know, I'll put the dozer on jobs where we're dumping spoils and we push it. What better deal can you get? Yeah, you're maintaining it, and that's in our lease. We have a lease, and it says the township's gonna maintain it and insure it. And by the way, it costs nothing to insure it, but we insure it. Tormadope didn't raise the rate when we added it on the insurance, so it's insured.
So do you carry insurance then when it's on your jobs, working on your jobs?
I have it insured as well. It's insured through my construction company. It's double insured. But I figure that's fair. You know, if the township's using it, they ought to insure it, and the least we can do is maintain it. But we do maintain it for the hours that it's gone working somewhere else too. That is true. But we pay 0 per hour to use it. 1,400 hours have been put on my machines, you do the math. And I don't care, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal for me, because they're not sitting around getting rusty.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great deal for the township, because they're getting 2 machines for free.
Who brokered those deals with the township?
I did. As a matter of fact, I asked this board, not this board, but the township board, if they wanted any input in it when I did it. And it's come up before.
Didn't it start like a $1 annual lease or something like that?
No, there's no, it might have said that, but there's no money's changed hands.
I don't know if your question was ever answered though. So the township paid to move your dozer off of your job back to the township?
Anytime the township uses one of my machines, anytime we need it, I could keep it at my place or keep it on my jobs. But anytime the township needs one of my machines, regardless of how often it is, we pay to move it back here. It wouldn't be the dozer, it would be the excavator, because we move the dozer. The township has trailers big enough to move the dozer.
Anything else?
One last thing, you understand what Rob's asking questions, it's just the perception, you know?
I get it, and you know, and that's why I took my name off of the machines. You know, they were all lettered up, I cleaned it all off, and I'm willing to talk, if you guys think that it's too bad a perception, you know, there's a lot of things that are bad perceptions, but sometimes they're just the right thing to do, and a good thing to do. As a matter of fact, my excavator just spent the last 3 weeks, 40 hours a week, feeding that power screen, because it's the best machine for the job. So, I don't, it's a great deal. Perception or no perception.
I don't know what the maintenance costs have been on your machine for the 8 years it's been here that we've paid on. I mean, I've seen some
I'll
bills in there.
I'll bet that,
We paid to paint it too, didn't we?
No, we've never painted it. We have not painted any of my machines, not even one panel that we smashed, it's still smashed. But I'll bet we have $5 grand in parts over the 8 years for the 2 machines. And we could pull that up, but I'll bet it's 5. Pretty cheap for all them hours.
Just a touchy subject, you know, the reality is when that leaves, I imagine it's gonna be pristine, you know, meaning you leave and go to sell it, it's gonna have all the maintenance that the township put in. Yeah, we're getting benefit now, but the future value of that machine, had it been in your part-time gig, you know, wouldn't get quite the maintenance it's getting here. Yeah, it's getting used a lot more too, but the reality is it's getting everything it needs right now for the future of that machine.
You know what both of them machines are worth? They're both about 1998s. So what's the real value of them? The excavator is maybe worth 25 grand, and the dozer's maybe worth 15. These are old machines with a lot of hours that we haven't put any big money into them. There hasn't been any $20,000 bills. They weren't junk to begin with.
Any other
I'll
questions?
tell you what, if you guys vote right here with the board, with the people you have here, that I should not do that anymore, and that I should rent machines, I'll do it, starting tomorrow. You decide.
Can I
It's
decide
gonna
the scope?
cost you a hell of a lot more money, though.
Can I decide the scope of work we do too, that we wouldn't need it?
No,
Okay.
no,
I
I
mean,
got elected to be
You-
the
you
highway
just spent-
commissioner.
I know, you just spent $181,000, and you need your excavator to feed the new $181,000.
No, we don't. The loader will
You just
do
said
it.
that, for 3 weeks it's been feeding
No,
it.
the loader will do the job, not as well. It just won't do it as well,
I'm aware of that.
you know? I mean, it's just perfect feeding it with that excavator. But we don't have to do it that way. We don't have to be as productive. Unfortunately, Rob, you didn't get elected to be highway commissioner.
That has nothing to do with this right now.
You're wanting to make the highway commissioner's decisions.
No, we discussed this many a times, that I think there's exorbitant amount of money that's spent at the road district that is never discussed in a format with the rest of the trustees, to at least have an understanding of what your needs are, what your wants are, and where the funding's gonna come from. And we've asked you to come to budget hearings, and you had no interest in it.
It's not your job. You know, there's a reason that you wanna, I'm not picking on you, but I have been thinking about this. There's a reason that you wanna participate in the road district, I think. And it's because the township doesn't have anything to do. You know that there are townships in the state of Illinois that have hospitals, police departments, libraries, conservation districts? They have all kinds of things that the trustees are busy working on. So I get it. I'm the focal point, you know, the guy doing everything, but it's my job.
You're the biggest exit of money out of the township.
That's true.
We were all elected to watch over it. So when we bring up a question, it's not me, it's my thoughts of the people that elected me to keep an eye on what's going on.
I'm all right with the questions, but I'm not, I don't require your input for the decision making.
Which I think statewide is a bad model. You
I
can't
don't
let one
even-
person
I don't
govern
even
that much
necessarily
money.
disagree with you, but that is the way it is.
Right, I mean, it also works the other way. If the shit hits the fan, then there's 5 more people that are riding it with you, you know, if something bad goes.
I'm not
you know.
following.
If there's a decision made, if you reported to trustees and trustees made decisions to accept one of your decisions, then all 5 of us take the beating. It's not just you out by yourself.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're saying that it would be good if the road district was run more like a public works in a municipality.
Correct.
Where the highway commissioner or public works director is hired and fired and looked over and told what to do by the trustees.
I think
I don't
it's more
necessarily disagree
fiscally
with you.
responsible to have 4 to 5 people working with you to spend the money, or not spend the money.
Yeah, that's just not the system we have.
I understand that, that's what I said, it's the state, the way the
Yeah.
state,
And it could be changed in Springfield.
Right.
But I'm working within the system we have.
Right.
And I could work for you guys just fine. But that's not the system we have.
I mean, I have issue with spending $181,000 just like that. I mean, I would've thought that would've come up to us at a discussion prior to say, you know what, this is what I'm looking at, and this is the advantages I'm gonna take in order to get the best deal, because this is why I think we need it. But then when it comes to us, $181,000 that we bought a screen deck, I'm like, what business are we in now?
Same we've always been in, road maintenance. I've been planning this for 6 years. The trustees have never been the people that I've consulted with in my decision making. It's, I don't know.
So essentially to reiterate what Rob said, and it's not, don't take it personally, it's more of a flaw in the procedure of the fact that you spent $181,000 and then 3 weeks later, we're finding out about it. And I guess we've kind of discussed it, we've touched on it in meetings past, that it would be nice to have a little bit of insight or forward thinking from you. I know you don't want to, but I guess basically, it was for me to see a shock in the bills, there's 181 grand going out, it's like, wow, you know, and it's not a personal thing that we're coming to you for, it's more of, I think that's where the procedure that you're working within is flawed. Just because I think it should be, as Rob said, I mean, yeah, municipalities report back to their board, they basically get guided by the board. I know you're not within that realm with the way the current state is, but honestly, that's where I think it's flawed, is 3 weeks after the fact, you finally spent $181,000 and you've been using it for 3 weeks.
The last time I asked the board, for input on a machine purchase was because I was scared to death. We bought a $750,000 tub grinder to grind up storm damage, tree trimming, tree cutting, stuff, turn it into mulch. And I wanted the input of the board. You know what I got for input? 0. That's what I got. No, and I'm not criticizing that board, I'm just saying that they didn't have a clue, they didn't have the time to research it, and they didn't wanna be on the hook for the decision. So the flip side of it is, you get to blame everything on me.
It's unfortunate that's the situation that we're in. For a combined agreement between everybody in the building that this is the way we're proceeding, this is how we're spending the money, and this is how much money we need to ask for in order to meet the needs of the road district.
Well, I wouldn't go to Springfield and lobby against it being changed.
I don't intend to. Just intend to stay here in Nunda Township and ask the questions that I think need to be asked in situations like this. If you take personal offense to it, then.
No, I don't. I think it was, who wouldn't ask for about what $181,000 bill is? I don't take any offense to it. I would think much less of you if you didn't ask me what the heck I was spending $181,000 on. But when you do the math, even if you leave the dump fees out of it, we produce about $60,000 to $70,000 a year of our own material that we use. So worst case scenario, 3 years, not even taking into account the labor savings, because this machine is so much more productive and so much more maintenance free. For me, it was a no-brainer.
That's, all I'm saying is that there was forward thinking between all of them. I mean, between all of us in the situation, this is what your need is. I would say to you, let's see if we can't find some way to find some grant money, because the township is recycling a product that was headed towards a landfill. We could have got somebody like Wilcox or somebody to find us a couple $100,000 for that allocated individual purchase. That's all I'm saying.
It's possible.
I don't think we can do it post.
It's possible.
Any other bills we have questions on?
No.
As discussed.
Wait, we didn't finish the machine. Do we wanna rent, or do we wanna keep using mine?
I think that's for future, I think we need to have more of a discussion on that.
How many
Yeah.
machines do we use that are yours?
2.
And are your machines that we use also for I missed, are they for personal use too as well? Like, is it logged how much you use on personal side versus used for another side? It's not logged? So we don't know?
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true, because I know the hours when they got
When you
here,
go to the other
and I know the
jobs?
hours we put on.
Okay.
So if I backed out,
Yeah, so you
yes.
could do that, okay.
But I think we need to bring that up in new business, right?
I think we need to make it an agenda line item for next month,
Mhm.
but leave it back in her spot, get you over here.
Right, but I think
Solid
we bring it back
discussion.
up when I go to new business, so, right? So that it can go on to the next agenda.
You're gonna, yeah, you can do it that way, or you can just agree to talk about it
Okay, so,
at the next meeting.
Joni, will that be, do I need to let her know, or that will be written in our minutes, that we wanna address it at the next meeting?
I can note it in here. So what if somebody has to tell me what your,
The
I might have
discussion,
gotten lost in that.
discussion regarding
Use of excavator.
the use of excavator and the dozer.
And that would go on October's agenda then.
Yeah, as long as we, yeah, do I need to do a roll call or anything on that? No? Okay. Any more
Okay,
discussion
just a
regarding the
second.
township warrant, or the road district warrants?
Thank you. Okay. Now, we need a roll call
Yes.
for the road district bills.
Yes.
Ready?
All right.
Johanna Donahue,
Yes.
Rob Parrish,
Yes.
Tim Parrish,
Yes.
Karen Simon.
Yes.
Motion,
Motion carries, sorry. Any new business besides what we just added?
wait, I'm sorry, can we stop 1 second?
Yes.
Do we need to back up because this was not said when it's,
That's a 310.
this is not,
I didn't pay attention.
this is table,
I thought it was,
but that's what I had in the minutes, so do we need to back up to correct that?
I'm sorry, what?
This is what was said, to go down.
I don't have that one, Joni.
Yeah, it's 13,000.
Right,
plus,
this is what was said.
Yeah, the total,
Can we
is
just correct it?
13 plus 36. So when you look
Oh,
at your-
for the previous?
Yeah, if you look at the township warrant, it's 13,817 plus the town fund, or the payroll expenses of 46,000.
So when everybody voted yes, they voted on this amount.
On 46, now the 13 plus 46.
Is it the 13,817.99?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I just do that as a next line item?
Yeah,
And what fund is this one, Joni?
it's just like for all township funds,
Okay.
And we're doing a new,
We open it for discussion for
Yeah.
a vote?
yes.
oh, hang on, I'm doing a new vote.
We didn't, did we do a roll call on, we did the roll
Yeah,
call?
we did, it was
Okay.
the township boards.
So then can I get a motion to approve additional township warrants for approval and payment for September 9th, 2011, or 2021, in the amount of 13,817.99?
Second.
Who, Rob?
Rob?
Joni and
Second.
Rob. I didn't get that sheet. A roll call, please.
Oh, Joanne.
Yes.
Rob.
Yeah.
Parrish.
Um,
Tim Parrish.
Yes.
Karen Simon.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Okay, now, new business, sorry. Seeing none, old business. Okay. Public comment again. Moving on. Reports by the elected officials. Lita is not here. I have a couple things. The camera, which is operated by BTJ, last month didn't work. The light came on, but nothing was recorded. So they ran some tests and nothing really showed up. They just told me to make sure the light was on again tonight. It is. She had them look into it. They did come here. They didn't find anything. They're not really sure what happened, but,
It was only like, what, 7 minutes, so if you.
exactly. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, but, and then she said that she's currently working on the newsletter. She's working on, still making updates to the new website and preparing for the audit. So that would be from Lita. From a report from the town clerk.
I
Join
have
in.
none.
Mike?
Well, we've spent the better part of the last month cleaning up storm damage. 3 weeks with every guy we had up until a week or so ago. And every guy minus three, I'll say. One guy running the screen deck and two guys in the shop. And then it's becoming a blur, but, a couple of days ago, we started cleaning up again.
Yeah.
And, we'll be doing that probably at least through Tuesday. Because people are gonna be putting more stuff out on the road over the weekend.
Yeah, that was my question, did you get a lot, my neighborhood didn't get it as bad this time, but did you get a lot more calls about brush pickup again?
Yes. And this is only about the fourth time in 8 years that we've decided to pick, or that I've decided to pick up people's brush. You know, usually we make them bring it to the road district, but when, this is, to me, this has been like 2 floods. So sometimes we help the people on the river, now we're helping the people with trees down. In a spirit of cooperation, you should know about another decision I've made some time ago. I have signed a contract for a new chipper, and it'll be here in December. Our chipper is from 2004, I believe, and it's quite worn. We're getting $40,000 on a trade, and I believe the balance is about the same, about $180,000. It did go out to bid, and this was the low bid. Other than that, we're doing a little paving, fair amount of ditching. This time, the last few days of storm cleanup, our ditching crew hasn't been participating because of this monthly cleanup, we're substantially behind in our regular maintenance. That's about what I got.
The assessor's not here to give his report, but everyone should have a copy. If not, Joni's got an extra we can make copies of. Trustee reports, does anyone wanna go first?
I do wanna comment that you guys are doing a great job with cleaning up, like, seeing you guys out, especially in our neighborhood, cleaning everything up. Everyone's really happy about that. Oh, and whoever responded back to my email about putting the crosswalk up over walk-up, I emailed the highway, you guys, and someone got back to me right away and said they were gonna work with McHenry. And I appreciate that.
Casey asked me about that. I think the request will come back in the negative because it's at the bottom of that hill.
I know.
So I think they're gonna tell you that the kids should cross at stoplight.
The hillside.
Yeah.
Which is a problem, because there's no,
Sidewalk.
right,
Right. So,
I don't-
perhaps that can be addressed.
we'll see, but I appreciate you guys getting back to us, because there's a lot of homeowners in our area that are, we have a lot of kids now.
Yeah.
And that it is dangerous, that hill, because people don't stop, and
There's no egress on the west side of walk-up, except for that one that comes out of
by Veterans
Foxfire or
Acres.
whatever it is.
By that, yeah, we don't have anything, and there's no sidewalk on the side. Even if there was a sidewalk on on the Cover Bridge side to go down, they have to cross coming on Vermont right there, or they have to go down Hillside, which is much more dangerous. I'd rather have them cross on Vermont, but there's nowhere for any of the kids in that area to cross.
You wouldn't be able to slow the trucks down anyways.
No, you can't, because of the hill. They wouldn't see it. I mean, the only thing that they would see is it's even too short of a distance coming from Hillside to there, because they're accelerating from, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what options, whatever, we'll try to figure something out, but it's a big concern, because there's a lot of kids running across the street there, because they don't wait for the bus, or if they ride, a lot of kids riding their bikes. So,
Where's that crosswalk?
it's, coming out of Cover Bridge on Vermont, crossing Walk Up. We don't have a crosswalk to get across for the kids to get to PR, or even to jump on the bike trail.
If I say crossing walk up from covered bridge, is that where you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but thank you for getting back.
Robertson?
I enjoy the fact that I'm sitting here. I take pleasure in the fact that you get pissed off when I talk to you, but I was asked to stay on after I lost my election to you. Don't leave the township, stay active, and keep us honest. And that's why I'm here, and that's why people elected me to run again. Do I want your job? No. I make 3 times what you make. I enjoy what I do. I like dealing with the public. Do I enjoy this job too? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There's difficult times, which suck, and then there's times where it's good. I'm here. All I ask you to is communicate, tell us how you're spending your money. I approved your $181,000 today.
Thank you.
You had a legitimate reason why. I would like to have known it up front that, hey, you know what, this is what we're thinking. Great.
All right. I will, moving forward, attempt. Now, I have to make big decisions every day. I mean, sometimes things just go south, and there's nobody to lean on. You just gotta decide. I had to buy a new transmission the other day. Gotta decide, am I gonna take the time to rebuild this thing, or buy a new one? Do we keep it in inventory for parts, or do we take the $2,500 for the core, you know? All these decisions
Right,
get made every
which
day.
I know you're good at because of your years in private businesses. Do I have value of keeping this? Is there value to getting a warranty with a new one? Do I roll the dice and go with another one and see what happens? That's where you have outstanding value.
Well, so,
You could have some of these other townships that have people in there that have no mechanical skills at all and just cha-ching.
the thing about the 181 route, I try not to get ticked off, but it's a real easy thing to glom onto and take issue with. But when you've been in the job for 8 years and you've proved the savings to yourself over and over and over again, and I can't argue with if somebody can get me a grant to get the thing, but I gotta tell you, I don't ask the county for money. Now, I did get the grant from the feds for Lily Lake Road, but I don't go begging for money. I just figure out how to get it done. And we're getting it done with less money than the previous administration was bringing in. And I don't buy new trucks, but when it's time to do something right, I just do it. I can try to let you guys know what I'm thinking in my reports in advance. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and that I haven't pulled the trigger on, is a used hydro excavator for locating the utilities. We spend a lot of time hand digging utilities, and you know, it's also a jetter, it's also you know, cleans manholes, sucks
Right.
manholes out. I thought about doing all 3 of them this year, but I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I don't wanna, I just don't wanna have to. I didn't put it in the budget that way. I
Right.
put the payments in for the chipper, but that's all I did this year. But
If you were to come to a budget hearing, those are the things you would tell us. This is what we're looking for this year. And at a point like that, we may say, hey, you know what, Mike, that's a recycling unit. There may be some way we can get state or federal money to cover the cost of that thing, even a brand new one, for recycling, or a screen deck, or whatever you wanna call it. I'm just here to make sure that you spend the money wisely.
I'm doing the best I can, and I'm
And
not,
like
and
Ken
yeah, I'm
said,
not
the
perfect.
perception of the backhoe going out on other jobs just doesn't look right, but when you completely explain it, then there's an understanding.
Yeah, to me, yeah, I think it's absurd to look a gift horse in the mouth. I think you're kicking me right in the teeth talking about my machines. and the pittance that we spend on maintaining them or moving it around, it's a joke compared to the, you know what hourly rates are. I haven't even done the math, but it's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to ask if we're paying to move the machines to my job, but it just.
I think we got it. Tim, do you
Yeah,
have
I got
a, do you have a report, Tim?
Yeah, again, I'm not here to kick you in the teeth, Mike, don't take it personal, I was asking a question about perception, and we're not gonna keep talking about it, but just trying to do the job that the people that put me here do it for them, and again,
We generally agree with the money once you completely explain it. We gotta throw a hand up, say, hey, what is this?
I would do the same thing with $181,000.
and tonight I just wanna say I appreciate your candor, I appreciate your open communication, and it was really nice, so I appreciate that. Changing subjects, as we get further in COVID, just hope that our constituents stay healthy, make smart choices, and respect your neighbors.
You got one more.
What?
Did you wanna announce your party, or you sold your tickets out already?
Oh, no, we're not sold out, no. The Service League Rocks the Beach fundraiser for Chris Lake Service League is tomorrow at Main Beach. 3 bands, food trucks, beer tent, and it's $35 now because you're buying at the door to get in. So it supports Chris Lake Service League, which all the money stays within Crystal Lake. We're 100% not-for-profit. Yeah.
What is this Crystal Lake Service?
The Crystal Lake Service League is 45 women that have been serving pretty much the community for, I think we're at 85 years when it started. And the women that are involved are volunteer service, and what we do is we give money back into Crystal Lake either through the form of outreach, where we help people with electric, gas, somebody's in trouble with moving, car payments, like anybody who's in need, or churches and other local organizations to find people in need, or they reach out to us. And then the other half of our money that we raise every year goes in the form of scholarships back to local female candidates. So if they reside within Crystal Lake, whatever high school whether it's Marion, Cary Grove, South Central, PR, they can submit an application to apply for a scholarship. So we're always 50% outreach and 50% to scholarships. So all the money that we raise through our fundraisers and our donors goes back in the community. A lot of work. But it's a good organization.
Okay, I'm good. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I have one thing. to
Oh,
say.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, I do have one thing to say.
Here it comes.
Oh.
I'm not saying that. I think
Want me to say
everybody
it?
knows that. But I do have something to say, and it's full circle. It is not at any one individual. Look how wonderful communication is. And we've been lacking it. This is wonderful. And you guys got through a lot of barriers tonight. Kudos to you guys. Go ahead and say. Very nice.
They have the whole story in order to make a vote.
I don't need a response, I'm just saying. That's my comment, and I'm just saying. It's very nice.
And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
And a second.
So.
And
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you,
Thanks for bearing with me.